thank everybody here for allowing me. About 8 years ago, give or take, and country. God. I will always place God first in everything that I do in Washington. Okay. We are a country based on Judeo-Christian values, and our country has gotten away from these values. If we don't return to these values very, very quickly, our country is doomed. We will fail, plain and simple. We must get that back going in. Family. My family has always been my number one priority, whether it was when I was in the military, why I was in, or even now. You know, my wife is here with me. My youngest of 4 daughters is here, Lexi. Brought her for Lonnie Lou. And then I've also got a 20-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 16-year-old, and they're all girls. Anybody ever really wants to know why I want to go to Washington? There's your answer right there. My wife talks about the 3 oldest, kind of like wrestling velociraptors. That's pretty much how they are when they start fighting. But in all reality, you know, they're great. I wouldn't be up here doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for the support of my wife and of my girls, my mother-in-law, father-in-law, stuff like that. Family. We all talk about abortion. We all talk about abolishing abortion. And I unequivocally agree with that. Here's what we're not talking about. We keep on talking about the unborn. Why aren't we talking about protecting the born? Haven't heard that. 800,000 children a year are abducted in the United States. That's 1 for every 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Okay, go to Walmart. My daughter gets abducted at Walmart. I gotta wait for a subpoena before Walmart's gonna go cooperate with them. But if I go steal a $200 TV, they're gonna hand that video over right away, and I'm gonna be in jail. We need to cut some of this red tape on certain issues. There's no reason in a case of a child abduction or an attempted abduction that we've got to go through and happens on a Friday, you're looking at Monday before the law enforcement's going to get that video. So, on day 1, I will propose legislation up in Washington where private businesses must cooperate. 8 years ago, me and him sat down, we were talking about an event, and that came up. We don't have the Baptist Children's Home anymore that's doing adoptions. They've turned it into the Baptist Boys Home, they've turned it into the Baptist Girls Home, and it's now for troubled teens. Now you're looking at paying anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 a year to adopt a child in the U.S. But I can go adopt a kid from Asia for about $13,000. We need to look at ways to curtail this, both at the state level as well as at the federal level, because it's not just an Oklahoma issue, it's this way across the board. We're actually one of the cheaper states to be able to go through the adoption process. So that needs to change. You know, we need to work on our foster care system with the money that's being given. We need to keep the good ones, we need to get rid of the bad ones. Country. I am a retired military combat veteran. Just shy of 20 years, I was medically retired after getting injured in Iraq on August 15th of 2007. You know, I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We have a lot of enemies in Washington on both sides of the aisle of that Constitution. It's time that we go up there and we start cleaning house. We need to get rid of them. You know, we can go through our economy right now. It's in shambles. Our inflation is at a 50-year high. We're still, whether we're banning Russian oil or not, we're still importing Russian oil as long as we're getting oil from OPEC. We're getting oil from Iran. These countries that are part of OPEC, they don't care about us. They're our enemies. The United States needs to get back in the business of energy, plain and simple. So, again, my name is Eric Wyatt. Please look me up on Facebook. It's Eric Wyatt for U.S. House. Love to talk with you guys. So thank you very much. My name is Eric Wyatt, and I approve of this message.